The Miami Heat in Game 1 against the Boston Celtics. This happened.
Kicks it back out, Jaylen Brown. Full team, Tatum swings it, Holiday spotting up, knocks down another three. Strong hands, comes up with a rebound. Tatum fires away, another Pritchard to Porzingis. Porzingis from downtown.
The Heat would lose by 20 plus points, and even though they've won the next game by hitting a franchise record 23 threes, we can expect the same level of production from them for the next few games, with Jimmy out the rest of the series due to an injury. The Miami Heat's chances of winning aren't as big, but what if I tell you that all of this could have been avoided and that Miami could have been in a much safer position than they are currently at right now? Be sure to stay until the end of the video to find out. But before we dwell on that one, let's talk about Jimmy Butler, the man who was mostly responsible for getting his team to 3 Eastern Conference Finals and 2 Finals appearances in just a span of 4 years. Get this, Jimmy Butler has had more conference finals and finals appearances than these superstars so far in just those 4 years. Now, if you were to show me this 5 years ago, then I would have called you a madman. Jimmy Butler has had a great career so far, and it's exceeded far beyond everyone's expectations. Butler is a 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive Team, and a Most Improved Player of the Year. Remember, this man was the 30th pick in the first round of the NBA draft. So for Jimmy to get this far in his career, it says something about the man's work ethic. And it's safe to say that with all those accomplishments in line, his name would go down in the history books as one of the greatest underachievers of all time, with or without a ring. But accomplishments aside, those aren't the things that Jimmy Buckets is most known for, but rather for moments like these.
It's loose! The lead! Jimmy Butler! Butler! Long shot! Good! Over the top to Butler. Up and in! Jimmy Butler!
Yeah, those ones. Since he's also got this thing called Playoff Jimmy, where he would go through a phase in which he would perform significantly better than his regular season self. And well, the numbers do back it up, especially in the scoring department for that matter. All except 2021, where they got decimated by the Bucks. But we're not going to talk about that, since, in fact, Jimmy has done more good than bad in his playoff runs with Miami. But, no matter how good Jimmy Butler performs in the playoffs, there's a few problems that the Miami Heat organization should consider. Number 1, being Jimmy's age. The man will turn 35 next season, and though we've seen plenty of NBA stars, mainly Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and most importantly, LeBron James, are all still performing at a superstar level despite their age. The thing is, you can't always rely on your best player, especially when that player is nearing the twilights of his career. Eventually, all those runs of Jimmy Buckets rallying the Miami Heat to a deep playoff run will soon come to an end, as Jimmy isn't getting any younger. A credible solution to this would be to rather find a more reliable scoring option to keep pressure off Jimmy. And speaking of which, number 2, a better second option. Now take note, second option, not second best player. We all know that Bam Adebayo is the second best player on the team, but in terms of scoring the basket, he is the third option on the team, and he's doing a pretty solid job. The other one, on the other hand, is not really that great. I'm talking about Tyler Hero, and I'm fully aware that Hero performed great in Game 2, but don't let recency bias fool you, so hear me out. Now, Hero, throughout the years, has transformed himself as a solid piece to the Miami Heat's roster, even going as far as averaging 20 points per game in his 3rd season till now, becoming the second option for the Heatles, almost, if not most of the time. But even so, his regular season success couldn't translate in the playoffs, as whenever the postseason comes by, he is either injured or not performing the standards that the Heat fans expect him to. As if we take a look at his numbers in the regular season, in comparison to the postseason, we can clearly see a significant drop-off in his usual averages. Finding a second star next to Butler is crucial, as this could give Butler a lot more breathing room on offense, and way more locked in on defense. During the offseason, they were headed in the right direction, as Miami was targeting the then Trailblazers superstar, Damian Lillard, to join the team. But we all know what happened after that. And instead, they got Terry Rozier in a mid-season trade, which by any means, a good player. But I don't think a player of Rozier's caliber will be enough to take the Miami Heat to the next level, or at the very least, compete with a team like the Denver Nuggets, in which we'll mention later on in the video, so be sure to stick around for that one. Third, lack of offensive firepower. the Miami Heat are at the bottom 5 of least points per game from a team during the season, only next to below 500 teams like the Pistons, Hornets, Blazers, and Grizzlies. Although they are compensated for their defense, with them being top 3 opponents' points per game and 5th in defensive rating, sooner or later, they have to realize that we are in an offensive-oriented league. And even if you have a great defense, but have lackluster offense, it is needless to say that you won't get that far. Because if you've noticed, that most if not all playoff teams have at least 1 or 2 players averaging 25 points or more in their respective teams. And the Heat, well, they don't have that. But instead, they have 2 players both averaging 20 points per game in the season, mainly Butler and Hero, and another being Bam Adebayo, who is nearly at that range as well. Fourth, lack of size. This is exactly the reason why Miami lost to the Nuggets in 5 in the last year's finals. Although Bam Adebayo is a great defensive center, he is small in comparison to the 2-time MVP. But to his credit, no one in the league can guard Nikola Jokic, and even if someone does, he would just throw up shots like this with 0.1 seconds left on the clock.
Jokic has to put it up. Falling away, puts it up. Bang! Nikola Jokic! Clock winding down. Jokic has to put it up. High on 3. Oh, he knocks it down!
Jokic bangs into Booker, flicks it up, and it goes.
Jokic just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good! Of course it goes in!
But regardless of how insanely ridiculous those shots are, this isn't about Nikola Jokic. The Miami Heat's tallest player, currently on their roster as of now, is Orlando Robinson, who is 7 foot, but he barely gets any playing time, so we won't actually count him. The second tallest players on the team are Nikola Jovic and Thomas Bryant, who are both 6'10". Although small ball is used in precious championship runs, with the most recent being the 22 Warriors, needless to say, the league isn't going too small in the next few years or so. Have they heard of that 7'4" guy in the Spurs? Yeah, if they were to ever want to stay competitive, I suggest that they possibly sign or trade for a big man who is a few inches taller than what they have going on in their roster, since there will be a lot of bigger and longer players along the way. Last but not least, winning more regular season games. Now, although there's plenty of injuries for the Miami Heat this season, you can't deny that the last couple of seasons, they've been doing the same formula of them being a lower seed and resting players, specifically Jimmy Butler, due to the quote-unquote injuries. However, come playoff time, they're perfectly healthy and were able to cruise through the whole playoffs and go on a deep run. And I'll admit, though that formula remains to work for the last couple of seasons, this time around, it'll eventually come back to hit them bad. And now, a lot of Heat fans may take this to heart and say that, well, the regular season doesn't matter, it's all about the playoffs. While that in itself is true, you have to consider that if the Heat would have taken the regular season more seriously, then Jimmy would have gotten hurt in the first place, since he won't need to participate for the play-in tournament, and would just go straight into the playoffs. In addition to that, winning more regular season games gives you the benefit of home court advantage throughout these playoffs, which means you'll be able to face much weaker teams in compensation for you being the higher seed. Because regardless of how great playoff Jimmy is, regardless of how gritty the Miami Heat as a team is, and no matter how many deep playoff runs the Heat will have, at the end of the day, winning the chip is all that matters. And so far, the Heat haven't done that yet. And so far, looking at it in the near future, with younger stars getting better and more experienced, and the old are starting to decline, it is hard to deny that the Miami Heat's future isn't looking too good. But let me know what you guys think. Do you still believe that the Miami Heat can win a championship in the next few years with Jimmy Butler? Or is it just too good to be true? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one.